Hey everybody, and welcome to the Top Earner Hangout. This is Diane Hockman, and you can see me, but I can't see you. I can't get at the chat and stuff. I'm going to try it on my phone and see if maybe I can see you guys over here. But in the meantime, I'm really excited because we are heavily focusing on email this week. So if I'm not acknowledging you in the chat, it's not on purpose. I just can't see you. I'm sorry, but some of you guys can see. Let me introduce the panel. We're still pulling a few more people on. And we are going to do today fundamental basics of email marketing. And then tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, we're going to get into some of the heavier duty stuff. So it's a two-day, two-part wonder, series of wonder. And, especially for those of you that might be in Europe or in other parts of the world that can't see tomorrow night, don't worry, we'll get your replay. We're trying to cater to, the globe. And it gets a little crazy sometimes trying to get it all done, but we do the best we can. So first, Steve Haradine. Steve, what's going on?
Hi, how you doing, Diane? And
can anybody guess where Steve might be from? Just listen to him for 2 minutes.
Cold England.
It's not that cold. It's colder here, I betcha. We can compare notes
compared to where you are, yeah.
But you have to translate into Fahrenheit because I don't know how any of that.
I don't know. I just know it's cold.
Yeah, exactly. Go outside, it's cold. Although it's actually been pretty warm here for, we had a blizzard, now it's kind of warm, so it's not too bad. Can't complain. And then I have Moni. How do you say your last name? Azem.
Asem.
In.
Asem. My real surname is El-Asem.
El-Asem. But you live in Denmark, no?
Yes, in Copenhagen.
Yes. Yeah, and we got to meet at Live the Dream, and excited to have you here. I'll tell you in a minute why these particular people were invited to this hangout. And then everybody knows Dr. Lisa Thompson. Hello, Dr. Lisa.
Hi, Diane.
Did you buy a preemptive honey badger? Did you get a honey badger in planning?
I got my first preemptive honey badger back at Live the Dream 6.
There you go. It's funny because in my very first company, I actually found somebody was selling on eBay one of the top ranked pins. And so what I used to do is I used to wear it, sorry to be graphic, but I used to wear it on my bra on the inside. So I had on my, whatever rank pin, my Starfleet Commander pin, and I walk around like I was a Starfleet Commander. So I think that everybody should get their symbolic things. If you're new and visiting, honey badgers are our symbol. When you get to the top ranks here, you become a honey badger, and we're all about the honey badgers. So. Yay! All right, and then we have Debbie Stone, who is in Indiana, but she's a transplant. Debbie, where are you originally from?
Hello. I am originally from Australia.
And you've been living in Indiana for how long?
16 years coming this March.
It's a long time. It's a long time.
Which
is better, Debbie? Let's start trouble. Which is better, Australia or the States?
They both have their good points. I do miss the coastline. I will say I miss the coastline. Landlocked was a lot to get used to.
Yes. Yeah. Being in Indiana. Yeah. Absolutely. No doubt. And then we're still looking for, who am I missing? Nazreen's here.
Naz,
did you just pop on? Did you? Yeah, I didn't. I introduced you yet. and Naz, how do you say your last name? Zaman or Zaman, or how do you say it?
Zaman. How you want? Zaman or Zaman, either.
Say that again.
Zaman or Zaman, either. Whatever you prefer.
No, I want to say it the way that you say it. So
I'll say Zaman.
Well, that's Zaman. And then I try to say things right, and then I screw them up later. So forgive me if I do. And you are also in England, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What I'm trying to do right now, guys, is I'm trying to jump on Hangouts on my phone so I can actually see the chat and the comments, because for some reason my app won't load, which, is technical difficulties. It happens, and there's nothing we can do about it. So here's the reason why these guys are all here in particular. Last year, in fact, last February, we started a course that we did here at My Lead System Pro called Twist Your List, and it was all about email marketing. And so a year later, I kind of went back in the group and I started checking out who actually followed through and who actually did the work and who, did what we talked about. And there were some people that raised their hands and said, hey, and I asked them to document and show me that they really did. Were you guys surprised when I asked that question?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then did you feel pretty darn good when you realized that you had followed through and you had gotten
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so
Totally.
I was so excited. And I said, well, I wanted to celebrate everybody who did. And so that's why tonight and tomorrow night we have a great panel. I like ours today in particular because it's really kind of international, which I think is cool. And I also like, again, when we get to have our European friends beyond, because we have the webinar at the time specifically to cater to Europe. So today what we're going to do is we're going to dig into, and again, I'm trying to get this link here set up. We're going to dig into the basic fundamentals of email marketing. Now, if any of you haven't met me before, my name is Diane Hochman. I'm the top affiliate at the moment here at My Lead System Pro. There's a couple of us that we tango dance, so sometimes one pops up and one pops down. But at this moment, although I didn't check today, I think I'm the number one affiliate right now. And I've been in the home business industry for 17 years, and email marketing is my absolute favorite form of marketing because I can do it from anywhere. I mean, I put out a picture today and it was a posed picture, but I was sitting in the woods. I do it from the beach. I do it from wherever I'm traveling. I've done it from airplanes. I've done it from trains, planes, automobiles, whatever. I do it from my mom's house when I go to visit. It's fast. It's simple. Anybody can do it. And now, all these years later, I run a business where, and excuse me for looking at my phone. I'm sorry, guys. I just really want to get on so I can see what you guys are saying. I legitimately run a business. Now, there are times when it's busy and I'm working more. Sometimes you guys will see me because you might go, oh, she's full of baloney because I see her more. I run a business in a couple hours a day. Now, in addition to that, I fool around on Facebook and have fun. But my actual work, and I have demonstrated time and time again, I can complete my actual work in an hour. So if I need to be off with the kids or I need to be traveling or I need to be doing whatever, it's holiday, I can do my work in a very short period of time. And so I'm really passionate about teaching this to people because it's something that it revolutionized my business. So I want to take it back and just kind of give you guys the common sense reasons about why this is so effective. And I say time and time again, and it's a little brusque, but if you're not building a list, I'm looking for this link, you're just spinning your wheels. You really, really, really are. Because if something goes wrong with a company, if something goes wrong with a program here at My Lead System Pro, and by the way, this webinar is brought to you by My Lead System Pro, of course. I'm assuming everybody knows, but I should make sure everybody is 100% clear. We've seen so many times, here's my webinar reminder. This is it. We've seen so many times that there's a bump in the road. There's a bump in the road in your business. Maybe it's with one of the companies you're affiliated with. Maybe it's with, an upline. Maybe it's with technology. Companies sometimes have technology problems, product supply problems, really common. The company gets back ordered or they can't supply anymore. There's a new regulation. Here in the States, there's a lot of regulations and, different countries. Canada is one of the really strict ones. So different countries have different regulations. And here I'm able to get on. Let me mute myself. So there's going to be two of me. Don't mind me. Okay, so now I'm on. And I'm echoing. Wait. Yeah, like, little dingbat over here. I'm on, but I want to see if I can see the chat from. This may not be the best plan, eh? But I could hear. Guys, my nickname is a digital dingbat. Now, I don't think you can see the chat from here. All right, well, that's going. We're done. You guys are going to have to interpret for me. I'm out. Larger than life. Okay, so anyway, you know, something happens in a company, and what happens is people have to start all over again. And I don't know, have you guys ever been in any of those situations? Been in a situation where you were building something and it kind of fell apart?
For sure.
And hopefully you haven't been, but if you have, you know what I'm talking about. And so if you build an email list, and all it is taking the people that you network with and meet, and you put them into a list in a place where you can mass communicate with them, over a period of time, this thing starts to accumulate. And now, let's say something happens and you need to let everybody know something's changed, or there's a new product out, or there's something new and exciting, like last week here or the week before, we had a new Facebook Live course. If you have a list, you can let hundreds or thousands of people know in one shot, hey, there's a webinar tonight. It's going to be really great. You should come on down. If you don't have a list, you get to sit all day and try to post on Facebook, or you have to reach out and personally contact tens, hundreds, thousands of people. So having an email list alleviates all of this. I hate that I can't see the chat. It's driving me crazy. I have to tell you, because I can't see. I don't like when I have no interaction. Are they saying anything?
Everybody's saying hello still, Diane.
They're still
it's mostly hellos.
They're all greeting everybody.
Okay. It's just driving me nuts. I'm like, I need my connection to the people. So you guys will have to, you guys monitor it and tell me, but you guys can't see the Q&A. I'm not going to be able to take Q&A properly. You know what, guys, let's do this. I'm going to go, most of you are members, not everybody, but most of you are members. I'm sorry to those of you that are not members. We're going to go in the My Lead System Pro Facebook group, because I can't go on the fan page. In the Facebook group, and I'm going to start a little thread. So as we go along, if there's any questions, you guys can answer them. I ask them, but please do not say hi on this thread so I can read it easily. So questions for Diane and panel from today's webinar. Okay, so I have a little, I'll show you guys. Share. Let's go over here. Can you guys see this? Can you see my screen right now?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to leave it here so that questions come in. So here's how it happened for me. And then I'm going to start going through some fundamentals and some ideas and concepts. And then we're going to talk to the panel. We're going to have them jump in and share, you know, some of the things they learned and tricks and shortcuts. But for me, when I was early in my career, a new tool, right now the new tool is Facebook Live and all the things surrounding it. Back then, the new tool was autoresponders. Now, all an autoresponder is, if you don't have one, most of you do, but if you don't have one, it's just a tool that allows you to accumulate people's email addresses, and it allows you to email them all at once. This was very newfangled back in whatever year this was, 2000, 2001. Can you imagine? This is like, you know, email is brand new back then. You know, I mean, not that many people even had email, and all of a sudden there's a tool that allows me to email lots of people all at once. Well, I was the weirdo that jumped on it immediately. And back then it cost $100 a month to have an autoresponder, and you could only send out 4 emails. So wow. It was, yeah, legit. You could send 4. It was a series of 4. You had to preload them. There was 4 emails. You couldn't do broadcasts or any of the things that we'll talk about today. And it was a very rudimentary tool, but you have to remember too, that most people were only getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 emails a day. So if somebody's only getting, how many emails a day would you guys, any of you, I can't see you right now because I'm on my screen. How many emails a day would you say you get now, including spam emails?
Hundreds.
20.
I think a recent study that I saw said that people get about 147 a day as an average.
And that's the average. So, and me, because my email address has been around for 20 years and so on, I probably get 1,000 emails a day.
Wow.
Really, legitimately. Now, a lot of them go to my spam folder, and I've set it up so that they don't all come into my main box. But I'm getting literally hundreds, if not 1,000 a day. So if I only got 5 emails a day, what do you think the likelihood of my reading those emails would be?
High.
Pretty high. Just like today, you only get so many texts unless you're a teenager. Then you get texts all day. But people my age only get, I might get 5 to 10 texts a day. So I pretty much read all my texts. I don't read all of my emails. I'm picking and choosing. And we'll talk about later, how do you cut through all of that. But back then, even though the tool would only allow me to email so many people at a time, it was, I'm going to come back over so you guys can see me again. Even though I could only email, so many emails at a time, so few people were getting emails and they got so few that it didn't matter. It was very successful. And then as time went on, of course, what does Gary Vaynerchuk say? He says, marketers ruin everything. And all of a sudden, everybody figured out they could use these tools, and spam went wild. And that's when they made those laws that we have today called the CAN spam laws. Here in the States, anyway. I know we're dealing with an international panel today. I'm sure you guys have laws too that say don't do that. You guys even have cookie laws and stuff on your websites and all different things in England. So you're stricter about that. We don't have anything that has to tell people that there's cookies on websites. So I was a very early adopter of email marketing, and I have been incredibly successful with it. And I want to tell you some of the reasons why I think that it's just so important. But first, I want to talk about, there's really 2 kinds of email lists that you can build. And then there's a hybrid. There's warm market, which is people that you know or people that feel that they know you. Okay, people that you know or people that feel like they know you. Like, for example, if you do Facebook Lives or you're doing video or any kind of marketing, there's probably lots of people that have seen you around. They feel like they know you, but they haven't personally met you. Now, the only one of you that I haven't given a hug to yet so far is Debbie. Right, Debbie? I didn't give you a hug, did I? I haven't seen you. Did I see you or no?
You will. Yes. No,
I did?
You will this year, though. No,
I
this
didn't.
year.
Because I usually remember if I've hugged, if there's been intimacy between us, if we've hugged.
We haven't met.
Steve and Sam gave me like a sandwich, Steve's wife, it was like a sandwich with those two.
That was a good hug.
So there's lots of people that I know that I've gotten to meet in live events and so on. And then there's lots of people that have seen me on webinars or seen me online, and they feel like they know me. So they're all considered warm market. And there's never been an easier time than today to create a massive warm market. And then there's cold market, people that don't know you and don't know anything about you. So that's pretty clear, right, guys? It's, warm and cold. So it's not hard to confuse. So I am a warm market list builder. I am always looking to meet more people inside of the industry, inside of the space, and I'm always looking to get them on my email newsletter. You also can create a funnel, and we have great tools, which I'll show you, where you can create something designed for people that don't know you at all, and you can drive traffic, do solo ads or pay-per-click or Facebook ads or whatever, and drive strangers in. Okay, 2 different types of marketing. Okay, now you can do cold market and warm them up and then turn them into warm market if you want to. But I've always been a warm marketer simply because I found it to be easier. And I'm all about ease. So for the sake of the conversations today and tomorrow, we're going to be talking about warm market. And again, I'll check the Facebook wall if you guys have any questions about warm versus cold market, to put them there. And I'll take a look. If you're not, unfortunately, if you're not a member of My Lead System Pro at this moment, and you're not in that group, I'm sorry, I can't take your questions because I can't see them. But I would, be happy to at any time get with the person that invited you, or if you put them in the chat, if these guys see them, keep an eye for me. If you guys see anything, it would be great. So let's talk first about the basic setup. What do you need to do email marketing? It's really simple. You need this tool called an autoresponder. Okay, that's it. Now, there's a couple of autoresponders that we use here at My Lead System Pro. There's thousands of them out in the marketplace. Some of them more sophisticated, some of them there's everything from free to extremely expensive. There's everything from basic to, you know, super high functioning. The autoresponder that I have used for over 10 years now is called Aweber, A-W-E-B-E-R. Okay, the other one that a lot of people around here use is GetResponse. What do you guys use?
Aweber.
Steve, what do you use?
I actually have both.
Wait. So Debbie uses Aweber. Lisa uses Aweber. Moni, what do you use?
Aweber.
Aweber. Naz?
Aweber.
Yeah, Aweber.
Aweber. Steve?
I have both. I use predominantly Aweber though. I did try GetResponse.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried.
Okay. So, you know, Aweber, there's pluses and minuses to all of them. It's a long-standing company. If you're a beginner, I think it's a great, you know, autoresponder to use. GetResponse has also been around for a long time. You know, they're different bells and whistles. I think both of them, I know Aweber has like $1 trial. GetResponse probably does too. If you're new to MLSP, I'll show you in the back office where to get it. So if you do not have an autoresponder, I beg of you, this is the most important tool that you can invest in your business. It's not expensive. Later on, as your list gets really big, it'll cost you a little bit more, but what the returns that you're getting will be a little bit more. So it's absolutely worth it. And it is the one tool that if you were to ask me, what one tool would you not run your business without? That's it.
Yeah.
It's 100% an autoresponder. Okay, so you want to go in and you want to set up your autoresponder and you want to just follow the directions and go through. Aweber, I know I don't use the other one, but Aweber has terrific instructions. Okay, if you're using My Lead System Pro and you haven't set up an autoresponder yet, I really encourage you to. You can use our tools without it and we will follow up for you. But that won't give you the control and the ability to communicate with the people on demand that you want. So do you guys want to real quick, let's take a look in the back office. Oh, go away. I talked to my computer. I'm here, and can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm here in the My Lead System Pro back office. If you're a newer member, you want to go through the start here process and it walks you through and it tells you that your autoresponder is optional. It absolutely is, but I can't encourage you enough to get one. And if you've been around for a while and you want to go back and add an autoresponder, all you have to do is go under account and go to and sign back in because you haven't signed in lately. We're very safe here at My Lead System Pro, super safe. And so you go over here and this is where you can sign up to get either of your accounts that you want. And this is where you're going to follow the instructions to add an autoresponder. It's extremely simple. And then what happens is you're able to connect your autoresponder to all the capture pages and all the tools that we have to help you generate leads. Now, if you're a visitor and you're not using My Lead System Pro at this moment, you certainly can go get an autoresponder and use it without My Lead System Pro, but there's huge advantages to using our systems and tools. Right? Would you guys agree with all the tools and different things that we have that it makes it a lot more fun?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let me just run down the panel. I'll come back so I can see you guys. Did any of you guys have any challenges setting up your autoresponder? Or did you find it fairly simple?
Very easy.
Yeah, very simple.
Yeah. And what I like best is these companies also have live chat. So if you get stuck, there's a person to help you. And then, of course, our company, if you're involved with our company, we have our Facebook group that pretty much 24 hours a day, somebody will answer a question if you get stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or tell you to knock it off if you're whining, right? Because sometimes people go unstuck and watch the directions.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're good at that. We're good at that. So do you want to get an autoresponder? You want to follow the directions from the autoresponder company to set it up. and you want to connect it if you're a member. If you're not a member, by the way, I can't get into the chat, but Steve, if you could just put bizbuildermastery.net, http://bizbuildermastery.net in the chat, if you would. That's a 10-day test drive. So if you want to poke around and see what's back here, you certainly can get one. It's $10. If you love it, great, stick around and you can get a regular membership. If you don't love it, you can get your $10 back. No big deal. But it lets you at least kick the tires and look at all the tools. So once that's set up, there's a couple things that you have to know that are important. One, you have to make sure that you filled in, and I'm talking United States, with apologies to all you guys, but I think the laws are pretty standard. You must make sure you have an actual address in your autoresponder, because by law, at the bottom of the letter, it has to show an address for you. Okay, so it's important. You can use your home address if you've freaked out about that. You can get a post office box, or there's all different companies where you can get a mailing address through the company. But you have to have a real address where you can really receive correspondence. Okay, really important. If you're sending out emails without that, you get in trouble. The other thing that you want to make sure you learn to set up is something called the signature file. Okay, I'll show you in a second. And it's really important that you have a signature file because, again, in the States, but I'm sure it's probably relevant worldwide, you must have disclaimers at the bottom of your emails that let people know that part of your email is an advertisement. If they do click and buy something, that you will earn commissions, and that any results you talk about are not typical. Okay, there's a lot of laws here in the States. Again, what I said earlier, marketers ruin everything. You know, marketers will go, send one email, make $1 gazillion, you know, and that's not true, right? So now we're required to tell everybody, hey, I am actually marketing to you. So let me show you real quick in a Weber. And again, guys, some of you guys are more advanced. Tomorrow night we're going to get much more advanced, but today I just wanted to start out. Now, do you guys all have a disclaimer?
Yes.
Yes. Actually, I haven't. I'm not sure about the regulation here.
If you're marketing it into the United States at all, I definitely encourage you to have it. And the reason why, with websites, like with cookies and websites, it's really about where the website's based and where it's hosted. But with emails, you're emailing into other countries. So I don't know. And just to be realistic, guys, you'd have to be doing something pretty crazy for you to get in trouble. But on the flip side, why not be safe? It's like having insurance. Let's hope we don't crash our car, right? Let's hope we don't crash our car, or our house doesn't have a fire. But isn't it good to know that we have things in place in case? So let's look at a disclaimer. And in fact, good, Monique, because that way we can look at it together, because you haven't created one yet. It's pretty important. So I'm just going to log into Weber. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and this is not a very exciting list you're seeing right here. In fact, 3 people unsubscribed. Nobody likes me today. And under list options, you're going to see list setting. Now, just so everybody's clear, I have more than one autoresponder, but I do not have huge lists. I haven't even tried to build huge lists, which is, I really want to be a poster child for you guys to understand. My list that I work, my main list that I work, that's not cold market, that's only warm market, that's only people that have absolutely said, I want to be with you. I want to hang out with you, Diane, is only 5,000, 6,000 people. That's it. And a lot of people might think, well, last year during the course, she said it was 5,000. Yeah, it's about the same. I call it. I specifically build a list to specifically be talking to people that want to hear from me versus random people that, you know, want a free giveaway or something. I'm one of the weird people that don't even have a giveaway, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Giveaways are great to get people on your list. I just don't have one. So my list will be very small in comparison to a lot of other people's. But I also have outperformed via email marketing people with lists 10 times my size, more, bigger, 20 times the size of my list. And it's really about the way you develop the list, and that's what we're going to be talking about mostly tomorrow night. So over here, and again, I'm not trying to teach you how to set up your autoresponder, but I want you guys to see there's a place where you set up your company branding. And you can put your company name and a logo if you have one and your website. And then over here, there's an email signature file. And all a signature is something that will kind of basically print on the bottom of every email without your having to do it every time. So that's why I put it here, because I don't have to do it over and over and over again. And again, guys, over in the MLSP Facebook group, there's a thread. If you have questions on signature, I'm going to go through one. But if you have questions on signature files, please feel free to ask. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out because it's too big. And I'm going to show you the fun way that I've done mine. Because you can have, I mean, you can do searches and find, you know, legal disclaimers for email marketing. But I did one that's kind of fun and kind of kooky and kind of me. So it says, Diane Hochman, call me if you need me. And then I have links to my YouTube, links to my Facebook, links to, you know, my website, a link to Twitter. And this is all at the bottom, you know, so it's not like link. It's at the bottom. It doesn't bother anyone. It's just a signature file. My Instagram, and see how it's fun, all my pretty pics. The attraction marketing system I recommend. See, so I recommend MLSP in here. And it says, I'm bent on helping people like you make money. Now here's the disclaimer. The sender of this email receives compensation when products and services featured herein are purchased. Results are unique. Your results will vary. That is some fancy legal copy that I picked up somewhere, right? Then I start to have fun. Parts of this email are an advertisement. But most of all, it's just a nice chick trying to help you. It's the law that I tell you that I might make some money and that I tell you that you may or may not. Funny thing is, I told the truth before it was the law. Now I have to tell you, I wrote this right when they changed the law because I needed a disclaimer on my emails when they changed the law here in the States. So I wrote this. So I say that, and now it seems less relevant because it's been several years since they changed the law. But a while ago, it was like, you know what? I told the truth before it was the law. Kooky me. Also, any results mentioned in this letter are not typical. I have been doing this for 17 years and have acquired many skills. The likelihood, I'm getting really bold here, the likelihood of your achieving these types of results is small, but possible. So I share the info in case you're the one. Right? So it's kind of cheeky, as you guys might say, right? It's kind of cheeky, but it's a fun way of putting the disclaimer that I'm required to have. Okay, you can have just a simple disclaimer. You can look one up, or you can just use the part of mine that says, you have to say results are not typical. Parts of this are an advertisement. I will receive remuneration if you purchased or any of the links herein. You have to say that. And guys, it's really good measure to have this. It's also really good. I like having that on the bottom of any letter. So if somebody tries to call me out later, I'm like, look, I've been truthful since day one. I've been very transparent. I've told you these are my results. My results are not typical. I've told you I have this many years experience, because every once in a while you get someone that decides to get mad at you. So have you guys, speaking of people that get mad at you, have you guys had, I know Lisa has, I'm pretty sure she has. Have you guys had anybody get mad at you and yell at you from having sent out an email, send back a nasty gram?
Yeah. Haters.
Yeah.
Take turns, because I know a couple of you guys have some good, because this is something that people are afraid of. People are afraid, well, what if I write this, or what if I sell too much, or what, and before we get into emails, you know, it's like people are scared. Did you guys, when you started, were you afraid of any of this stuff?
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually a little bit upset that I haven't had one. It means I'm not working hard enough.
Oh, no, yeah. If you haven't had an Instagram, you're clearly not doing a good job, Steve, because
I know.
So somebody tell me, what were you scared of first? Just shout out your name or so I can call on you or whatever. But tell me what freaked you out before, when you very first started, when you very first set up the stuff. Anything scare you about it?
Yeah, Naz, yeah. For me, it was what to write about. You know,
yes.
It was, that was, well, what am I going to talk about? At that time, I didn't have any success. You know, I was learning.
Yeah.
And
so
we all get that fear.
Common fear. What am I going to say?
Yeah.
What do I know? I just got started. I don't have anything to say. We're going to cover that. What else? Anything else?
I think it's really relevant too. Sorry to interrupt, but just on sorry, Naz, but on that topic, it was feeling relevant because most of us just live in an office, don't we? What do we really talk about?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Were you guys afraid of any technical stuff at all, or was that fairly easy?
No.
Fairly easy.
No,
pretty easy.
Yeah.
Were you afraid of feeling like you were selling too much? I'm going to tell everybody in a few minutes. I'm going to tell them they have to write every day. Yeah. Now, I know I rewarded people in the group that didn't all write every single day, but most of you guys are actually quite consistent, really good. And I know you've had good results from it. But when I tell people that they have to write every day, they freak out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anybody write you back or do anything rough to you or say stupid things to you?
Not yet.
Well, one of my emails that I got a nasty email back from was a really personal email. It wasn't a sales letter at all.
Yep.
So
Diane?
Yes?
Yeah, the only one that was slightly nasty, and I can't call it a hate mail, but I did get told off for my grammar and the way I speak.
And what did Grandma have
conversationally, don't we? And we talk, in our emails, we're encouraged to speak how our voice comes over. And I got reprimanded by somebody who said, this is not proper English.
Yes.
And it wasn't English, strangely enough. It wasn't an English person telling me off.
You know, and that's another thing. People think I didn't do well in English in high school. I can't write. I'm not good with spelling. A lot of fears about that. And some of the most successful email marketers that I know are really not like very grammatically correct at all. So we're our job now as we start to get into this is to remove some of your fears, all of you out there, because the thing that we're fearing, my phrase that I got from my mentor, that if you've hung out with me at all, you've heard me say a million times, I'm looking for people that are looking for me. So sometimes people will get on my email list and they're really not a good match for me. See, if I'm working with people that are looking for me and I have the right crowd, right, that right niche, it's really not selling at all. It's just customer service and it's helping people. So if I am selling or trying to sell to people that are not a good match for me, it's strife. It's kind of weird. So we're looking to sort. Our job is to search and sort and select through the people. And our email newsletter gives them a chance to access us and determine whether or not we're a good fit for them. And sometimes, hey, let me ask you guys a question. Have you ever been frustrated in your business?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Everybody has.
Yeah.
And so do you think that sometimes frustrated marketers take things out on the person who sent them that email that day?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
I'll send out an email and talk about something that happened, and somebody will send me back some horrible letter. I've gotten some pretty horrible ones. I keep them in a file, though. So twice before you send me an email, because it is documented.
Good idea.
I keep all the nice ones too, though. The nicest ones I keep too. So that way, if I'm feeling down, I listen. I go look at my nice letters, and if I'm feeling if I'm feeling like I need to crank myself up, like, you know, because sometimes people are abusive. If I feel like I got to crank myself up, then I go listen to the nasty ones, and I get I'm not taking it. So
wow. Good one.
It's brainwashing, guys.
We've got a question here.
All I do is I brainwash myself to do things that I think I can't do. That's how we got here. So let me see. I'm just looking at my checklist. Oh, and we had one question. We only have one question. Any questions in the chat?
Yeah, there's somebody who asked. Pete asked how long. You said it takes an hour to get your work done each day. How long did it take you all when you first got started?
Not much longer, truthfully. Because I do a piece of content every day, whether it's video or you know, a blog post or whatever. I write a letter to my list every day, and I meet people every day, and it really didn't take much longer, because I don't know why, but I guess it was because I had little kids at the time. I had to keep everything very simple. I just didn't have the time to build all this stuff. And so I was always looking for easy solutions and things that were done for me, like different promotions and presentations. So I always thought of myself as the person who would get the people to look at the presentation, etc. I never thought of myself as the person who should create them all yet. And now my kids are grown, and I'm able to come and go and do whatever I want. And now I can spend a lot more time, and I can, you know, have a ball. In fact, I'm looking to come to England. Who wants to invite me? I'm dying to come over. And you guys think I'm joking, but this time I really do want to come. I'm free to come. So
we're waiting.
I may be hitting all of you up for a visit. So.
Don't tease.
I'm gonna, yeah. I'm not teasing. I'm serious. You'll see. So it's important to understand. If you have more time to spend, you can absolutely spend it. You know, but everything has to be profitable. Everything has to be bringing people towards you. Everything has to be putting people in front of presentations. Anything that's not doing that is gravy. It's good. It's wonderful. But I needed money, and I had little kids. So what I didn't have was money, and what I didn't have was time. So I needed to create something that was simple. It ended up paying off. We do have one question over here on the Facebook page. Carla asks, my husband and I use the same Aweber account and have our own lists. Can I still use the signature file? You can create a different signature file for each list. And then the other thing, when you fill in your contact information, just make sure you put both of your names. So that should solve your problem. You know, and now it's funny because I would never, I think to share expenses and everything, it's great. Share your autoresponder. That's the one thing I would never let anybody in. I don't care who you are. You will not go in my autoresponder. So to me, it's like sacred ground because I'm more of a copy freak. But yeah, you can share an autoresponder. We got another question. Then we'll move forward a little bit.
Yeah,
hey, Valerie, when using the MLSP system campaigns versus product profit campaigns, I use the system campaigns to build the email list. Then I sell the audience the product profit campaigns. Is that what you'd recommend? What else would you suggest I email to my list? Okay, so for all of you guys that are not familiar with MLSP and maybe you grabbed a 10-day test drive, it's bizbuildermastery.net. Valerie's referring to some of our done-for-you campaigns. We have campaigns that are designed to help you build your list where we've created the giveaways and you attach your autoresponder to it. And then we also have campaigns that are designed to sell different products. And we have products running from $7. I think the highest price one in there right now is $2.97. So we have products that you can sell to your list. So yes, Valerie, if I were starting out and I weren't creating all my own stuff yet, I absolutely would use the system campaigns to build the list. And then let me show you guys real quick, just in case anybody's not familiar. I know for some of you guys, this is review and you know this stuff, but you know what? We got to welcome our new friends and show them. If you go under, we have the system campaigns. Oh, I'm logged out again. I'm extra safe again. Super safe. Okay, we have all these different campaigns. Like this one is a great one. Keisha did. Create your first ebook in minutes for instant authority. Okay, and it's a training on how to create an ebook. Okay, and you can attach your autoresponder through My Lead System Pro so that you can go around and give out this training. And when people get it, they'll be on your newsletter. They'll be on your email list. So it's really kind of cool. We have, tons of these. We have, all about Facebook Live, Facebook mobile lead generation, 77-page PDF download on Facebook, how to use retargeting pixels on Facebook, how to stay out of. This one I hear is having some problems lately and Facebook doesn't like it. So you may want to avoid that one. Yeah. Instagram training, keyword research training. So we have a lot of giveaways that you see. You see all of them? They're wonderful. So we have a lot of giveaways that you can use to build your list. And then when you start writing letters, and we're going to start talking about that a little bit today, but I want to make sure everybody's set up. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to get into the types of letters and different things. So yes, we can send now this list as we start to build it. We're going to be able to send them sales offers. We're going to be able to invite them to webinars and trainings and presentations. We want to learn how to be a good storyteller and share fun things with them. And we want to start to create relationship. And that's what I want to talk about now. Wait, let me stop this. Okay. It's like a big circle. Okay, you meet someone or you post on Facebook, you invite them to your newsletter, whether you're using a giveaway or not. From your newsletter, it's like a circle. I can push them into my blog post or my piece of content. So all of a sudden now I have people, they come into the list. From the list, I can create traffic to my website. When my website, my blog, and we have the ability to create a blog here or capture pages and things. When that starts to get more traffic, it actually starts to generate more people through Google and other entities. So now from the website, when they visit the website is pushing anybody who isn't on the list already back into the list because there's always an opt-in. Let me draw a picture. What do you guys think? Should I draw a picture?
Sure.
Because it's really a tricky, cool secret. And then we're going to show you some ways to get started with that list today. Let me make sure you guys can see my screen. I opened that, but I didn't put it on the screen. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I haven't done this in a little bit, so if I seem terrible at it, don't mind me. Okay. Okay. So let's say this right here is an opt-in, like put in your name and not a pot, an opt-in. Hi, excellent typing. An opt-in, right, to get somebody onto my list. You've used maybe one of the MLSP opt-ins, or you've learned to create your own page. A Weber actually gives you forms that you can use. I can't train you on everything, guys. I really want to get down into some cool techniques, so I'm not like going through every last step. Which one of you guys has the kids? Can you just mute it up for a little bit? So I get someone and I invite them to my list. It could be manually. Debbie's going to show us a cool way she does it in a few minutes. It could be I just personally invite them. I'm talking to someone. I say, let me get you on my newsletter. I have some great tips coming out for you. Great. Everybody says yes, by the way. Everybody's so shy about asking people. I ask people all day long, are you on my newsletter? Can I put you on my newsletter? Let me put you on my newsletter. All day long when I meet them, because I'm actually trying to help them and they can sense my energy. I'm not trying to get them, sell them, whatever. Let me get you on my newsletter. So I get people coming into my newsletter all day long. So somebody opts in, and then what we're doing, I'm trying to figure out how to draw this well. Do it like this. Okay, so they opt in, right? And then they start to go around the curve, because from my letters, I'm going to send them to, let's do this, my blog or my website. you guys are thinking, I don't have that yet. We can help you with that. We can help you with that. We have all the training to get it up and ready to go. And you can do it very quickly. So from my blog or website, right, I could be sending people in my post. I could be sending people to an event, right? Like a webinar, a live event. At the event, like during the webinar, guess what we're doing? We're pointing people back to the newsletter, right? So we're kind of going around in a circle. It's like a big, circling spiral, although that looks like an oval. Because if I'm on my blog, I'm telling people to opt in. If they've opted into my newsletter, I'm telling them to check out my blog, or I'm telling them to come to my webinar. When I'm on the webinar, I'm saying, make sure you're on my list. When they're on my list, I'm saying, make sure you come to the live event. When I'm at the live event, I'm telling them to make sure you get on my list. When I'm on my list, I tell them to make sure to go to the blog. When I'm on the blog, I tell them, and it just keeps going around and around and around and around and around. So it basically becomes a massive spiral, like a vortex here. I know I have one. No, I'm not going to look for a picture. So the vortex is what you guys think, well, how do I get a lot of traffic to my blog? Well, you certainly can advertise and you certainly can do SEO, but if you start building up the list, you're pushing the list into the blog, and the blog is pushing the list to the webinar, and the webinar is pushing the people back to the blog, and so on and so forth. So it becomes this swishy swirl. Does that make sense? I know it's like crazy weird. But so I'm always pointing, to me, it was originally the trainings that I did years ago were called quick link marketing. Everything points to the next thing. Everything points to the next thing. There's never a time that I'm communicating with someone where I'm not pointing them somewhere to go. And so when they're at one point, the next point points them to the next point. And there's no specific order, because that's what people worry about. Well, if I'm on my blog, where should I tell them to go? Or if I'm on my list, where should I tell them to go? So to get back to Valerie's question, there's several types of letters that we can send out that will keep people getting very engaged with you and start getting them to show up to where you want. So you guys know all the types of letters, and I'm not going to reveal them all today, and I don't want to give everything away, but tell me some of the types of letters that you like to write. Maybe I'll go down the panel that you like to use to get people more engaged with you, that you like to use to point people different places, to make sales, whatever. Debbie, do you want to start? Do you have a favorite kind of letter that you like to write to the list?
Sure. An invite letter to the webinars or today's Hangout. That's one type, invite letter.
Yep. So you guys just jot down invite, and all that is letting people know where you're going to be, what's going on tonight. So a bunch of us wrote an invite letter to get you here, right? Some of us have an invite letter going out for tomorrow because we have a webinar going on tomorrow. We might write an invite letter to I'm going to write a letter. I'm going to be in Florida on Friday night. I'm going to write a letter to my list, letting people know where I'll be in case anybody wants to come. I'm going to invite them to come see me. You could have a webinar with your network marketing company. You could have whatever going on. So an invite letter, very simple. Doesn't have to be hypey or crazy. It's just simple. Would you like to come? Excellent. Lisa, what kind of letters do you like?
I like writing the love letter.
Tell everybody about the love letter, because I love the love letter too.
If I may talk about one of my biggest challenges with writing emails was in the beginning, before you taught me the right way, I was always pitching, and people would get off my list as fast as, within 24 hours, they'd be unsubscribed. But what I learned to do with the love letter is to be authentic and to share more of my story with them. So in my first couple of emails I send to people, I'm telling them about my struggles, my challenges, my wins. And what that does is to me, that opens them up. One of the big challenges I communicated to my list when I was hospitalized for diabetes. And I sent that letter like the next day when I got home, and I had about 30 or 40 people on my list reply back to me, and they were sharing their struggles. And I find that, you know, when I'm more open and authentic, they feel safe to be opening up and being authentic with me. And that helps me help them, point them in the right direction. So that's why I love the love letter.
Yeah. You know, guys, when we talk about a common human experience, right? So Lisa's expressing, you know, the experience of being surprised and ending up hospitalizing and being diagnosed with something she didn't expect. And other people have had that experience. What happens is they feel closer to you. And when people feel closer to you and they build trust with you, and this common human experience can be about my kid smeared poop on the wall. It could be about a cup of tea. It could be about common human experience is common human experience. Everybody knows what it's like to be cold. Everybody knows what it's like to be hot. Everybody knows what it's like to have a cold and be sick. Everybody knows what it's like to have a glorious day. And so when you start to think about all the things that we all share, when you talk about those in your letters and you evoke emotion in the people, it causes people to reach out to you. And once somebody's connected with you, the next time you invite them to something, when you use an invite letter or you show them a product or service you recommend, that guard that they have against most marketers is dropped. They drop the wall and they go and look because they feel the human connection to you. It's very, very, very powerful. And it makes, you know, a big difference. So, Moni, do you want to come out for a minute? I know you probably had kids running around.
Yeah, I like doing sending them, you know, showing them my latest blog post, sending them, you know, if I did something.
Oh, it just got weird. I'm sorry. Everything
got a little bit weird there, didn't it?
So you were saying,
so you like what do you call that?
Like sharing. I don't remember the names I gave them. I gave them cool names in the course, but basically,
I don't remember the name.
When you create something, you like to send them out. Hey, here's my new blog post, or here's my new video.
Yeah, or if you are looking for whatever, take a look here. You know, you send them some kind of information that they can use for something.
Yep. So content, sharing content. Now, there were two kinds of letters we talked about with that. And again, tomorrow night, we'll get more into this. You can share something that you created, or you can do curation, which is going out and locating.
Curation, that's the one, yeah.
Finding content that's out there that you think they'll find helpful and sharing it. So you become the maven, you're out knowing what's going on in the marketplace. And guys, this is one of the biggest techniques you can find. And we're going to take Q&A for a few minutes. Unfortunately, I can't see Q&A. It's driving me crazy. I mean, if I seem off kilter on this webinar, it's because I can't see you guys. It's making me nuts. Curation is something that everybody can start with, because you could just curate stuff from MLSP for like at least 90 days and you wouldn't run out, because you have so much stuff to share with people that will be really easy to write some quick letters. And we're going to talk about formatting and all kinds of other stuff. Write some quick letters and saying, hey, here's a great training on this, or I used to be afraid of Facebook Live until I took this training. And you can curate all kinds of stuff. You can curate TED Talks. You can curate anything that anybody's published. If it's in a public place, you can share it. No author is ever going to be upset about you sharing their content as long as you credit them. So that's great. I love curation. It's a wonderful thing. Naz, do you have a special kind of letter that you like best? I know you're muted. Do you want to tell us, or is it too noisy at your house? Nazreen?
She can't hear.
Oh, maybe she can hear me. I'll jump to Steve and then see if she comes back out. Steve, do you have any ones you like best?
Sure. I mean, particularly when I was first getting started, I relied heavily on the edification letter, because I wasn't so great about talking about my achievements. So I used what I learned from you to edify other people within MLSP, and particularly to promote, you know, the things like this, the webinars and the Hangouts. And yeah, I found out that really helped me out when I was just kind of working my way into it.
Yeah. So guys, when I talk about types of letters, I think of them like Lego blocks. You know, guys, you know those blocks that kind of click together that the kids play with? And so each thing that I'll be teaching you, you can connect them. Like, you might want to have an edification and an invite together. So you're going to edify the person who's speaking today and invite people to the webinar, right? And you can click those two together. You might want to curate an invite. You might want to say, here's a great piece of content that Joe Schmo made, and guess what? Joe Schmo's talking tonight. So that's curate an invite. And I'll go through the different types of letters, but so they're really kind of building blocks as opposed to the whole letter having to be the one thing. And when we start to learn, and Val asked, how to mix it up, if we have 7 days a week, and during the week, one day it's a story about your dog and then inviting people to come to the webinar that night. The next day it's letting them know here's your new blog post. The next day it's letting them know you have a Facebook Live at 2 o'clock. The next day it's telling a story about something that happened at an event you went to. And then another day it's curating somebody else's content altogether. You go out and find something cool and you share it. It becomes quite easy to write these letters. And another day it's a love letter where you're really thanking people for being part of your list and telling them how much you appreciate them. You're always able to sell interwoven with all of this going on, because it's always easy to say, P.S. have you seen this new app? It's incredible. It's always easy to say, P.S. come to the webinar tonight and you'll hear whatever, if there's something for sale. P.S. I've been involved in a new company for 6 months now. I've kept it on the lowdown, but now I'm ready to show people because we're having amazing success. If you'd like to take a look, click here. All of these types of ideas. But today, I just really wanted to get you guys understanding what an autoresponder is. And by the way, we have a tool in My Lead System Pro called a CRM, which is Customer Relationship Manager. People sometimes don't understand the difference between the two tools. An autoresponder is designed to bulk email everybody at once. I get 500 people on my list. I send them all an email. It goes out to everybody. I type it once. It takes me 7 minutes. Letter goes out to 500 people, right? If you had to talk to 500 people to invite them to a webinar, how long would it take you to invite 500 people to a webinar?
Forever.
The whole day, right? The whole day.
Yeah.
And you'd probably start copying and pasting and people would be like, eh. How long does it take to send one letter? Even if you're stinky at writing letters, it won't take you more than a half an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can tell 500 people that something's going on, or there's a new product or whatever the case may be. But a CRM is designed to maintain your relationship with a customer or a prospect. So for example, let's say I have Lisa in my CRM. I might have notes about Lisa, and I say that Lisa loves puppy dogs. Lisa has had a hearing loss at a young age and has overcome it. Lisa's a speech therapist. I might have notes on all the things that I know about Lisa. Okay, she lives in Minnesota. You know, I could have all this stuff about Lisa, and then I also have the ability to send individual emails from that tool or schedule follow-ups from that tool. So like I might schedule it to remind me to talk to Lisa on Tuesday about something. And I could pre-write letters and put them in there, but I can only send them to one person at a time. So that's designed to keep notes, because let's face it, guys, when your list gets to be into the thousands, do you think you can remember? Hello, where's that coming from? Do you think you can remember everybody? You can't.
No.
Okay, and I'm pretty darn good at it. And I still can't remember everybody and all the details. So you use a CRM to keep track of everybody so you can make sure everybody feels special and that you care about them. Because I care about everybody, but I mean, my brain isn't that big. You know, my brain isn't that big. So like I said, if I've hugged you, I usually know your story. I know you, you know, or if I've taken a picture. If I haven't yet, then sometimes I have to remind myself. And that's why I had to ask you today, Debbie, where you were. Because I knew you were in Australia, but I didn't know where you were.
Yes.
So, and that's the type of things that I'll keep track of, and I will set reminders for myself to follow up with individuals. Your autoresponder is so you can talk to everybody all at once.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a big difference. So today, my goal was for you to understand what an autoresponder is, for you to go get one. If you don't have one yet, I want you to get one tonight. I know it's a little late in Europe, but get one tonight. I wanted you to understand that your contact info has to be in there. I wanted you to understand you need a signature file and a disclaimer. in there. I wanted you to understand that you can go into My Lead System Pro and connect your autoresponder to your system. You just click, there's a big thing that says, watch this video. It's not that hard. Watch it and follow the directions. You click add autoresponder and you add it. And now we're set up where we can start to write letters. And that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow night. We're going to get into writing that first letter that people see when they're getting into your newsletter. We're going to get into the letter types. We're going to get into, a lot of the objections and things that people are worried about. And I apologize that we've had a technical difficulty today because I can't see your conversation. So if anybody else has a question that you can put in the My Lead System Pro group, I'd love to answer it for you. Let me see if any came in. I do have one more question. And then if you guys could check the chat, if anybody has a question, shout out to these guys so that maybe somebody can catch it. Rebecca, you can write 6 emails a day rather than 7. Yeah, if you like to celebrate the Sabbath or anything else, absolutely. You guys get the idea. The idea is to be very consistent. And the reason why I say write every day is because if you shoot for every day, you'll end up doing at least 5. We don't all do every day. We don't do, and then sometimes I do more than 1 a day, depending on if there's something exciting going on. But it can't be. The biggest thing I see people do is they decide, I'm building a list. And they maintain it and they work on it for about 30 days and then they disappear for 6 months. Then they decide that they want to sell something, so they want to work this list again. And then they write this ridiculous letter to the list saying, I know I've been gone, as if the people really care. Nobody cares, guys. It's your job to be connected with the people. It's your job to be in front of them all the time. It's your job to educate them, entertain them, invite them, compel them, let them know that they're appreciated and cared for and that you're available to help them. It's your job. You can't just write to people when you want money.
No.
Right.
Okay? But the irony is that if you write to them all the time when you want money, it's really easy to make money. And I have had circumstances in my life over and over. Kids will come home from school and they're like, Ma, I need this much money for a trip that I hadn't planned on. And I go, boom. I mean, I even did a tuition-a-thon one time where my daughter's tuition bill came in. And it wasn't that I didn't have the money. It was just fun. And I did a whole campaign selling stuff until the tuition bill was paid off. And I made a chart and everybody laughed because it was all about, paying Diane's kids' tuition. And it was fun. Right. And it was just like, look, I'm selling everything. I'm selling the farm. I'm selling the ranch. What do you want to buy? You want coaching? You want this? You want that? And it was just silly. But it was a whole series of letters that raised $15,000. Like boom, 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 just money. I've written letters. Go ahead.
I just saw something in the chat here that said to ask you to talk about the fact that unsubscribes aren't a bad thing if they think you're emailing them too often.
Oh, yeah. And tomorrow night, we'll talk about that. We definitely can talk about it now. Guys, first of all, you want to be clear when people subscribe, and I'll show you in your first letter. Your first letter should be abundantly clear that you are going to be emailing them regularly. Okay? And you want them to know that up front. If you want to put it on the capture mechanism, even better. Some people have a checkbox, the system I use doesn't allow me to do it, but I would even have a checkbox that says you agree to receive promotional emails on a daily basis from Diane Hochman. Okay. So up front, you want to be upfront about how often you're going to be emailing them. So that way, if they're agreeing, then they have nothing to complain about. The next thing is, guys, you can't let the audience dictate your marketing. If you ask people, how often would you like to be marketed to? What are they going to say?
Never.
Never.
Yeah, I don't want to be marketed to. So, and everybody would say that. And yet, most of us are allowing stores to say, I get Victoria's Secret, I get this place and Chico's and this and that. I get emails from all these places because I allowed them to, right? So people want to buy, they just don't want to be sold. And so you can't let the list dictate to you how often you're going to email. And if they're unsubscribing, it's one of two things. They're either not the right match in the first place, which is fine. You got to, guys, not everybody's for you. You're not for everybody. but you have to build up your skills so that you can attract more and more and more people. But also it could be that your mix is just, if you're just selling, and there's nothing in there that's enriching, there's nothing entertaining. I get people to write me back all the time. I'm always like throwing in quotes or throwing in different things. If you guys haven't read some of my letters, I can pull out some classic ones. You know, and in fact, I think we'll do some case studies because I want to do a case study with each of you guys, you know, to just kind of interview you like we talked about we were going to do. But then also I think I'd like to take some of my letters and dissect them. And you guys might have fun doing that with me too, to sit and read a letter and dissect. Why does it trigger somebody? Why does it make them come closer? Why does it make them want to buy? You know, there's a way. It's the same thing with webinars. A lot of people say 1 hour, it can't be longer. It's an hour. That's it. You're not allowed to go longer. And I know some of the top marketers in the world, they'll go on for 3 and 4 hours and nobody leaves. So which one's right and which one's wrong? Neither. It's just about, are you skillful enough to keep people that long? You know, are you skillful enough to keep them reading? So if somebody's mad at you for emailing, let them go. Let them go. Let me see. I think another one came in. It says I have 12 comments. I'm not seeing them.
Diane?
Yes, Steve.
One other question that I do see in the chat. Somebody just did ask there, is it more effective to use long emails or short emails?
I like to mix them up. I have some that are multi pages long. And there's some of people, most memorable emails that people just go on and on and on about how much they love them. I actually have emails that I send out at least once a year because people ask for them. And then I have other emails that are like, hey, don't forget, we're meeting at 9, link. So I like to mix them up. It really depends, again, on what's on my heart, what I have to say. Am I in a rush? Am I not in a rush? Did something go on today that I really want to talk to them about? Or am I running out the door and I need to send them a reminder? So again, and I can only teach you guys what I've done. You know, there's a lot of different ways to do email marketing. And again, it depends on your market. Okay, if you're doing, what I'm teaching you guys here is not for cold market. In fact, Debbie, tell everybody about, you know, the neat tool, that cool app that I know that I use, and I know you've been using it a lot. Show them. Do you have a phone handy?
I love it. Yes. I don't know if you can see it on my phone. Probably not.
Not really.
It's called Aweber Atom, ATOM app. Right. And when you click on it, you can see that, right? It's going to ask you to put in their name and their email address. So when I'm talking to someone in Messenger, like you said, Diane, I don't often give somebody a free training for inviting them to my newsletter. While we're chatting, I just work it in. It's no big deal. Oh, are you on my newsletter list? If you're not, just shoot me your email real quick and I'll add you. And that's a great tool. It just opens up, it asks for a name, an email, you hit the sign up button, and then you should get an email to say that this person is now on your newsletter list.
Yeah. Guys, Aweber originally, it used to be that you could have somebody send a blank email to your list name and it would automatically subscribe them. So I used to say all the time, this is before capture pages were around, I'd say send a blank email to dianehockman@aweber.com because that was my list name. And it still works, but nowadays you can't get a list name like Diane Hockman anymore. It's all like AW list, LMNOP, 17 characters. So, and I remember writing to them and going, what are you doing? You're taking away my favorite function. Because I could say to someone anywhere, pull out your phone or run to your computer and send a blank email to dianehockman@aweber.com. And this is what they replaced it with. And what it's really designed for, and again, it's called Atom, ATOM. It's in the App Store and it's in the Play Store. It's designed when you're out at a social function or at a chamber meeting or a business networking meeting that you could pull out your phone and put somebody on your list. Yeah. But it's really cool because you could be chatting with somebody on Messenger, like live video, and go, you know what, are you on my newsletter? Let me get your email. And you pull out your phone, you do it right then and there. Right. When you put someone in through Atom, it does not require a double opt-in, or at least it did. It could have changed. I don't think so, though. Double opt-in means that they sign up and then they have to confirm again. So Atom is an incredibly great tool because you can ask someone, can I put you on my email list, and do it for them. Because most people want to get someone on their list and they send them a link for them to do it later. It's like giving them a business card. If you give someone your business card, where is it likely landing?
Oh, God.
The garbage. Or maybe the bottom of their purse for 6
somewhere
months,
else.
and then it goes in the garbage eventually. Often illegible because something spilled on it or whatever, okay? Or it goes in, like, maybe they have a Rolodex or something and it's sitting up. Like, I'm cleaning out my office. I literally just threw away like probably 5,000 business cards because I used to save them. And they're old. They're like 6, 7, 8 years old. They're up there. I had like a binder with them. So people, you can even hand your phone to someone and let them do it and go, hey, well, why don't you put in your name and email? Go ahead. And because we're such a mobile society, people are used to putting numbers in and stuff like that. It's extremely easy. And you can use it when you're just talking to someone.
We got another question in the chat, which says, how do you get past the first email which no one responds to?
Easy, write another. Nobody's going to respond to a lot of them. And we'll talk about that tomorrow night. And again, for all of you that it's too late for, I apologize. We're doing a 2-part series and we're trying to accommodate all the time zones. Guys, nobody's going to respond to a lot of things for a long time.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's the same thing on Facebook. You start posting, you don't have any friends, you start posting, and there's nothing going on. And then all of a sudden, you get a letter back. You're like, oh my God, somebody's really reading this. Guys, have you ever seen, there's a movie called Julie and Julia. And it's about Julia Child and the woman who blogged about her. And this was back early on when blogs were new. If you ever watch that movie, she believes that nobody's reading her blog for forever. And all of a sudden she realizes there's thousands of people reading her blogs and they all start sending her gifts and sending her money to help her cook and all this other stuff. And they start sending her stuff. And all of a sudden it snowballs and she becomes very well known. In fact, they made a movie about her. Your email list is going to be like that. Now, I'm going to teach you tomorrow night. We'll see how much time we have. Maybe Brian will let me come back on another Tuesday. There's ways to trigger them to get them to write you back, to get them to respond, to cause that interaction. But you gotta, most people are not going to respond for a while. They're checking you out. Don't you do that? Let's see what else today. Right? All right. What mixed ratio do you remind when sending emails in regards to content emails and sales emails? Alexis, it depends on the week. If there's a launch or something going on at my company, if there's something I'm selling this week, I might be hardcore sales one week. And when I say hardcore, tongue in cheek, a lot of fun. But let's say like 2 weeks ago when Stephen Lanacia launched their course, half my emails that week were about going to the webinar or buying their course. This week, I'm not really selling. I'm doing an email, thing, I mean, I'll still make sales with people as they talk to me about different things. So the ratio depends on what's going on. Just like in life, if I'm getting ready for a trip, I'm busy doing certain things. If I'm not going on a trip, I'm picking up flip-flops and I'm picking up a bathing suit and I'm picking up this, what ratio of shopping do you do? If I were to say that to you, 1 week you may not shop at all, but if it's the week before your vacation, you're shopping a lot. So on and so forth. Christmas time, how much cooking do you do? If it's Christmas time, you may be cooking a lot or Ramadan or anything, whatever holiday you're celebrating. And another week you might be ordering in. So you want to get used to being comfortable with that. It's alive. It's alive. It's not a static, it's this many times this and this many times that. A lot of people also ask me what time of the day is the best time to email. I know somebody's done studies on this. My feeling is the best time to send emails is when you have something to say. That's my theory. Now, I really warn against, because I see a lot of people, what happens is they don't do their work all day and then they wait till the end of the night and then they start sending out emails at 11 o'clock at night on the East Coast, which really nobody's going to read them because Europe's in bed and the US is going to bed. So it's use some common sense about that. But I write emails at different times of the day because I write when I have something to say. What platform do I use to meet people every day? Steve asks. Mostly Facebook. Facebook's super easy because Facebook allows me to network through people, so I can meet people through people. So let's say tonight, you know, maybe Naz had something on her wall and about this webinar, and a bunch of people are talking about it. I might jump into that thread and say hi and meet 2 of her friends or 3 of her friends, and so on and so forth. I'm always looking to network through the people that I know, which is what we do in real life, right? What we do in real life. So Facebook is like a microcosm of the way humans move. The other platforms really aren't, but this platform is, because Facebook is deciding what to show you based upon your relationships. And isn't that really what happens in life? Based upon who you're hanging out with, like during the school year, you see all the parents at the different things. Maybe there's baseball games or there's the PTO meeting or whatever. During the summer, your life isn't school-based if you have children. So you're seeing different people in the summer. Maybe you're seeing the camp families, you know, depending on what, you know. You guys follow what I mean? So who you're interacting with and who you're meeting through who depends on the circumstances. It's the same on Facebook. But I highly recommend all of you that are My Lead System Pro members, y'all should go meet everybody in MLSP that you can, because even though they're not prospects for you for MLSP, and I wouldn't look at them, I look at them as colleagues, not prospects, you can meet people through the people. And the more people you meet, the more people you can meet. So hopefully that makes a little sense. So we've been on almost an hour and a half. We're going to get some closing notes from you guys, and we're going to wrap it up. And again, I'm sorry I'm a little off kilter because I hate when the technology is not working for me. And I'm glad you guys could at least see it. Steve, what would be your biggest words of wisdom for somebody who's just starting with email marketing?
Oh, wow. Biggest words of wisdom. Obviously,
no pressure. I'm just saying a tip, you know, something that would be helpful to them.
Well, I would probably say, you know, we kind of covered it a little bit, but don't be put off if you don't get responses straight away. You have to be consistent. You have to build this up. And, you know, it's finding the things to say when you think you have nothing to say is probably the biggest challenge. Don't go out and go crazy trying to sell to people. Just add value. Just give value as much as possible until you've built that relationship and you've got that rapport, and, you know, go out and see how you can help people. That's probably my best advice.
Excellent. Excellent. Debbie, best tip or idea or thought that you want to share with people?
Yep. Have a great headline, because you might be the best letter writer in the world, but if nobody opens it, you know, what's the point?
Yep. And we're going to get into the writing tomorrow, which will be fun. But yes, a great headline, because if nobody opens your email, you even really write it at all. Lisa, you know what, Moni, your mic is on, so as you're turning things, Moni,
sorry.
No, it's okay. Just so you know, Lisa, what's your biggest thought process for people?
I think being consistent, write to your list every single day, because that's the only way you're going to get better at writing emails and really knowing how people are going to respond to you. The more you do it, the better you get.
Yep. And no matter what, that's good advice for any method that you pick that you've decided that you want to master. Guys, I started out having never written anything to anyone and turned it into, you know, a multi-million-dollar business. So it really is about just getting started and being consistent and having the focus be on the people, caring about, see, most people are focusing on what they want, you know, what I want to get. And really it's about focusing on gathering people and sewing into them, and then letting them know how they can support you back through products and services and things you offer. What about you, Moni?
Yeah, I completely agree with Steve and Lisa that consistency, continue writing. You always have something to say. There's somebody out there just waiting for your message. And it's really, really important to build the list. I mean, it's the only thing you've got. Your list is the core of your business. So just keep going, be consistent, and have some self-worth. You have a voice.
That's it.
And you have something to say. You matter, and there's somebody waiting for you out there.
So true. Naz?
Just on top of what everybody else is saying, I would highly advise to people to get to know their target audience, so they know exactly what to write.
Yep. Yeah, when you get to know the wants, needs, desires, fears of the people that you're communicating with, it becomes a lot easier because you really get into their head and you know what it is they need the most. So yeah, definitely focus on that. I'm always talking about the focus on understanding your prospect. I'm going to leave you guys with this. And then again, I'm going to encourage you. I can't even put the links in, but tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, for those of you that are available, join us. For those of you who can't, we'll watch the replay. Recently, I've had a lot of change in my personal life. And if I didn't have a list, I wouldn't have been able to function and get done what I had to do. You know, we all talk about wanting to have residual income, and residual income is the fantasy. Well, having a list of people that are responsive to you and being able, can you guys imagine being able to earn a major income in 15 minutes a day? Because if you had a job and something happened in your life, you'd have to go to work. You might be able to take some time, but you'd have to go to work, and you'd have to go to work for 8 hours or more a day. When you build up your list, if bad times come in your family, an illness or anything like that, you literally can function in 15 minutes a day and still make significant income. I'm living proof of it. In fact, I had the best 2 months of my career in the last 2 months while literally barely working. Some of you guys might have noticed I canceled some webinars and some different things, and it's because I had some turmoil going on. And it is my list that has carried me through. So for yourselves, for your family, for the people you love, I am telling you, this is the best bang you can get in your business, is to focus on this and build it in whatever medium you want to use to build it. Because I'm not here to tell you how to get them in, because we have all those methods. We have videos and we have lives and whatever. But when you point them into the list, you have to take care of that list. And if you do, when your time of need comes, that list is going to take care of you. And I'm living proof of it. So I want to thank all of you guys for being with me here today. You are tremendous. And I'm so thrilled that you decided to take the bull by the horn and write your list and follow through. And I know bigger and better things are even coming, because the more you do it, the more magical it happens. And you guys are going to do it all the time now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All the time.
Yes.
All right. And again, I'm going to be reaching out to each one of you, and we're going to do some like a little case study interview with each of you that we'll share with the community. Because I think this is really important stuff for people to understand. Anybody can, and everybody started at different places. And, you know, it all roads lead to success with email marketing. So guys, thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you, Diane.
Thank you, Diane.
Out there in Google land and stuff. I'm sorry I couldn't interact with you properly. Hopefully tomorrow night that will be working properly. But if there were any questions that didn't get answered, feel free to put them in the My Lead System Pro Facebook group. I will happily answer them. And for any of you that are not a member and would like to take a test drive and look around and see what's going on and check out all this stuff, it is bizbuildermastery.net. And for any of you that want to advance your studies, there is a course in your back office called Twist Your List, which this is all based upon. If you want to advance your studies, I'll do so much tomorrow night. I'll do as much as I can. But of course, that is a full comprehensive course on email marketing. It's twistyourlistpro.com. You can check it out if you want to really delve into this. And on that note, I wish you all a wonderful afternoon or evening, depending on where you are. Everybody, we'll see you all soon. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.